Hello, this is Frida. Welcome to my channel. Welcome. Today I wanted to talk about the SELANİK, in Turkish it's called SELANİK, the brioche corner to corner blanket that I have done a redo tutorial. I've been getting so many comments. Usually they've been emailing me. So what I wanted to post this video is in the tutorial. Here's the beginning. In the tutorial, let me focus this. In the tutorial, I start from here, and then you knit about 7 ridges of the purl stitch. You can knit 2 sides. It gives you the same effect. And then we separate it when we come to, I believe it was three here, and it has to be 11 stitches, and then we knit 11 rows. Okay, this is the brioche stitch. It gives that nice effect, look, and both sides are reversible, like they're same. So what I thought is you can knit with a different stitch other than the brioche. Use the same technique, same purl here, purl, but when we changing, you can put a different stitch, which I am trying to design in my mind. I haven't wrote anything, or I haven't did a tutorial yet, but that's coming up next. I do have several tutorials on my YouTube channel, reversible, 2 sides same, so you can pick those stitches, and then all you need to do is add 11 stitches, and then you knit it 11 rows, and then do the same method. So I am going to post the clips that I took from my 2 tutorials that I have done, the 2 part 1 and part 2. So I'll put them together, and I will add them how to knit, like the techniques, and how to do the decrease, how to do the lace edge. So I will put them after I talk from here. I just wanted to say that you can use a different stitch. And I have knit the stitch on baby cardigans. I have knitted for my son, and I have another project coming up for him. Actually, I bought the yarn 2 years ago, but I haven't had a chance to start on knitting him, like 2 different colors. I wanted to knit him a sweater, organic cotton. So I'm going to use one of that stitch. Can't remember what the stitch was called, but you can go and check, just go into the videos and type in knitting stitches, and everything will come up. If you're not a crocheter, if you want to search for knitting items, and you also can crochet this as well. So I will come up to that as well. I'll make a tutorial, but that will take me time. But my plan is to knit another blanket, same method, but using a different stitch and maybe playing around with it, putting lace stitches. So I just wanted to say that you don't have to do the brioche stitch. You can put 11 stitches in different stitches here. It's just that we need to put 11 purl, 11 brioche, or any other stitch that you want to do, and try to choose. See, as you can see, this is a purl stitch, and this is like a knit. It's tall. You can knit cable stitch, something that has to be tall, not like anything related to a purl stitch. It has to be opposite of a purl stitch to give that height. And I do have several tutorials. I even made one this month. I made for this I knitted a scarf. So you can even add that one, caterpillar stitch. Yeah, you can add that one, and there's several stitches out there that you can play around with it. All you need to do is 11 stitches. Don't forget that, because 11 stitches is purl, 11 stitches is the brioche that I did. So 11 stitches, and all you have to do is try to make it a square and knit it about 11 rows. So I hope you like this video, and I will add the clips just to give you an idea, so you don't have to go back and check those 2 videos. So I will add those 2 clips on how to knit techniques and stuff, and you can go from there. Again, you don't have to knit the brioche. You can knit anything you want. Something, a stitch that is 2 sides. That would be great because it gives that nice effect. Okay, so I'm going to let you go. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Share it with your family and friends, and happy knitting. I'm going to ask you to cast on a total of 5 stitches, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're starting from here. As you can see, my tail, you can see the tail. So we're going to be knitting 2 sides purl, wrong side and the back side purl for 5 rows, just like this. And I have already cast on a total of 5 stitches. So I'm going to be knitting 5 rows of purl, just like this. So it's like just regular purl stitch. I love this Knitting Pride needles. They're nice and sharp, and the yarn just slides nicely. Okay, just like this. And then the wrong side is purl as well. Yeah, on this one I'm knitting the edges because I usually don't knit my first stitch. Can you see my voice is still not, my God, it's been a month and still I haven't went back to normal. This COVID is just terrible. That's all I can see. I'm negative, but still I have the symptoms. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to knit five ridges. Like I said 5 rows. I do apologize. So it's going to be 5 ridges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I will meet, oh my goodness, what did I do? I blocked it. So 5 ridges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I will meet you at the 5th when we finish it, and we're going to increase these little edges. I think this blanket was very appealing because of the edge, and I've been getting lots of comments. People were emailing me comments from everywhere, from my Instagram, my personal. I have 2 personal Facebooks. Well, one is personal, one is business related, one is fan face. I do not have a written pattern. If I sit down and write a pattern, I'm going to charge you $5. So therefore, no one wants to pay the $5. That's why I'm not making writing patterns. I am doing the tutorial. Okay, just so please don't ask me a written pattern. I will see you 5 ridges later. Okay, so I have knit 5 rows, 2, 4, 5. And when you look at the back, you will have 2, 4, 5. Okay, just to show you. So this is how we start. So please don't get confused. I know lots of people were getting confused. Like, this is the simplest way I can do this tutorial. And I'm focusing on the beginning because the rest is just go super easy. Okay, here we are going to do our increase. Okay, to do our increase, I'm going to move this aside so I don't want you to get distracted because of the background. Okay, so here we are. We don't want it that close, right? So this is how I'm going to be doing my increase. We are going to be knitting like a purl knit. Okay, I knit from my neck, Turkish style, so I feel more comfortable knitting like this, the purl. So knit like you're knitting a purl. Okay, and what we do is we twist it and we put it back to this needle. So this is one, we did 1 increase. I'm just trying to have it focus. So won't get blurry. And then again, I put it back, and then I start like I'm doing a purl, yarn on the front, and then I twist it like this, and I put it back. So we did our 2 increase, our 3 increase, our 4 increase, and then our 5th increase. Okay, so we did our 5th increase. Now we're making the 2nd edge on the blanket. So we're just going to knit this like purl, yarn on the front, just knit as you purl. This is how I do my purls, and I'm trying to show it as slow as I can. Okay, so we just knit this corner. So we just knit this corner just like this, see? But oops, let me focus that. So we knit this. Now we're going to do our increase. Oh, this is the wrong side. Here we go. So to do our increase, we're going to do a yarn over. Okay, to do my yarn over, so I did 3, 4, and I'm knitting my 5th. Okay, we're done. Now I'm going to do a yarn over. Okay, and just to point that out, when we're doing our increase, we do it on the wrong side of the work. 2, 4, 5. You're supposed to have 5 ridges. Okay, now we're going to knit these, purl these 5 stitches, just like this. Okay. Okay, I said it wrong. We don't do our increase. We're going to do our increase on the front of the work. I am so sorry. Sorry about that. We're just doing our increases, like adding stitches. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove this yarn over, and I'll be right back. So I'm going to do my increase again, just like how I showed you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, and then we knit these purlwise, just like this, all the way to the end. Nothing else to be done. No, this is the front. We're going to do our increase. Sorry. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have 5 stitches here. Now we're going to start our yarn over to do the corner to corner style. So again, on the front of the blanket, when your long tail is facing your left side, we do a yarn over, just like this, and then we just knit 3, 4, 5, and then again count 2, 4, 5, and then we do another yarn over, and then again we knit. So this is all we do. On the wrong side of the work, we just knit purlwise. And when you come to the front, you do a yarn over. So don't forget that. Don't forget that. Always knit yarn on the front. That shows, this is how it shows the blanket. I don't know. It's really fun to knit this blanket. Okay, so because right now I'm going to be having 2 whips of the same pattern. So I am on the right side, so 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to do my increase on the front. So don't forget, always on the front, 3, 4, 5, sorry, count 5 stitches and then do a yarn over. So here, when you get lost or when you're confused, don't count the middle because it's going to be increasing. Always count the edges. So 2, 4, 5, make a yarn over. Don't count the middle like I said, it's going to be increasing, so focus on the edge. So we do this about 5 ridges again. This edge, we're going to be knitting 5 ridges, but we need to bind off. So I will show you that. So to do that, we're going to be knitting 4 ridges. On the fourth ridge, after knitting the 4th ridge, we're going to bind off and then go on from there. Okay, so I will let you knit 3 more ridges and I'll be right back. So, but don't forget to do your increase on the front after the 5th stitch. Okay, so I have knit 5 rows when you count it. 2, 4, 2, 4. Well, it's hard to explain. So we knit 4 rows, 4 ridges. So I am going to bind off. It's hard to explain. What I'm saying is when I bind off, we will create the 5th ridge. Okay, so we're going to be binding off a total of 3 stitches, just like this. Just bind off the way that you know how to bind off. And then you will have 2 stitches, and then we will continue knitting the rest of the stitches all the way to the end. And don't forget your increase between, because this is the right side when we do the bind off. Well, on the one of the here. Okay, and 2, 4, 5. And I do my yarn over and I just knit this to the end, and when I come back, what I do is I bind off 2, 4. I bind off 3 stitches, I knit 2 together, put the stitch back, knit 2 together, put the stitch back, knit 2 together, and I just knit all the way to the end again, nothing else, because I did my yarn over. And it gives you this nice 2, 4, 5. See? 2, 4, 5. And then you just knit. Nothing else. I really like this color. Then yarn over, knit the yarn over, purl the yarn over, and knit the 2. Okay, now when we turn our back on the front again, we're going to add 3 more stitches, and I just use the same technique that we have used, and just knit 1, 2, 3. Oh, I needed to do one more. To be 5, always 5. So count again, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See? And then we do a yarn over. Always do the yarn over on the front, and then you just continue knitting. Just like this. And I will show you how to do this part as well. But again, don't forget, always yarn over on the front. Okay, yarn over. And then when I turn my work, I add 3 more stitches because we already have the 2. So when we bind off, we only bind off 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Again, turn 2, 3, 4, and then 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I did extra. See, always count. See, there's 6 stitches. We don't want extra. It would not look good. It would not look equal when you look at the blanket. When it's done, you will notice the error. So don't, just be cautious when you're doing your increase. So get rid of that one stitch. That one tiny stitch would make a big difference. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then we just knit. No increases, no yarn over here on the wrong side. Well, in the middle, like no yarn over. Just on the front, we do the yarn over. I did get that question a lot. And I am knitting fast. I'm sorry, but I have to because this is going to be a long video. But I am showing you the details and I'm explaining as I'm going. I do get a lot of comments that I talk too much, but I have to talk to explain. Other than that, if I don't, you're going to ask me the questions, right? So we just knit this. That's all we do. And on the front, we're going to do a yarn over. So this is how it looks like so far. Okay, I'm going to show you this blanket. Okay, as you can see, so we're going to continue knitting. Knit, knit, knit. That's all we do. Okay, just finish this one. See, we're over. Now we're on this one, right? Right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the brioche in the middle. Okay, it's a total of 11 stitches. Okay. Okay, now we're going to start doing the brioche stitch here in the middle. Okay, to do that, you should have a total of 23 stitches. Continue doing your increases until you have 23 stitches where you did the yarn over, just like this. And we start doing the brioche stitch. I put a marker just to show you. On the wrong side of the work, the tail should be facing your right. And then this is how it looks like so far. Just give you a closer look. Okay. Here we go. So we just continue knitting. So what I did is I put a marker 5. We don't count the edge. So 5 stitch, and then starting from the yarn over included, you should have 2, 4, 6 stitches that we're going to be purling. And then we're going to start doing the 11th stitch of the brioche stitch. Okay, so we just knit these, just regular knit. Just like this. We don't do so. On the wrong side we start the brioche stitch. On the right side we just do the increases and the yarn over. That's all we do, like when we do the decrease and stuff. Okay, again, count always. So 2, 4, 5 is the edge, 2, 4, 5, 6 is the purl. To do the brioche, I'm going to show you the easiest way to do the brioche so you won't get confused, because I've been getting lots of comments. Okay, so I'm just going to knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, and knit. Okay, so go back and count again where the knit stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So we're done. So the rest of the stitches are just going to be purl. That's all we're going to do, nothing else. And my marker is in my way. So we just knit, purl these stitches all the way to the end and your yarn over. Okay, so we're done. Yay, we started. And then we just continue knitting. So we're on the right side of the work. Okay, count your 2, 4. So now we're going to get rid of the 3 stitches because we're on the 5th. Always count 2, 4, 5. Remember I said when you're doing the right side of the work, we do our decreases, increases, and we do our yarn over. When you're on the wrong side, that's when you start a new, like a new brioche, just to show you, because we're going to be making more brioche, right? See? Oh my goodness, I love the stitch. I'm going to make a baby cardigan, or even an adult. So stay tuned for my next tutorials. Just love the brioche stitch. I made so many cardigans with the stitch. So I got rid of the 3. And I just knit, and I do a yarn over when it's time to do a yarn over. Okay, so I'm going to come to my marker. Okay, I'm not going to count these anymore. Always count the brioche stitches because you will get confused. I know the color is variegated, but so here where I started the new brioche, brioche. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So here is my stitch. Okay, so this is my brioche. Let me just put this here. So you can see this is a knit stitch. So I'm just going to knit that. Okay. So here is my way of showing you. I did a tutorial already about this, but that's okay. If you're not a subscriber, you're missing lots of stuff. So please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss lots of my tricks and my new stitches. Okay, so this is a knit stitch, right? So I'm not going to knit like this. What I'm going to go do is go underneath here. This is the easiest way I can show you. So you go between here, and then you knit it, and you leave that stitch. And then you purl. The next stitch is a purl. Okay, so I'm going to repeat this again. I don't knit it from here. I go underneath, between here, just below, and I grab my stitch, and I let it go. Purl, go between, knit, purl. So we're basically what we're doing is we're knitting, purling. That's all we're doing. Okay, so count again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So we're done. So I just continue purling the rest of the stitches. Should move that marker here because yeah, I just knit. This is all I do. But don't forget the yarn over. Okay, and we're going to bind off this 3 stitches. Need to get rid of them. So I'm going to move my marker because for some reason I put it one here. Okay. So I'm going to bind off 1, 2, 3. Going to knit the yarn over. When you come to the brioche, you just knit the brioche. When you're purling the purls, you just knit them purl. That's all we do. Okay. And again, we're on the brioche. So I'm going to knit 1 below, purl, 1 knit below, purl, 1 knit below, purl, 1 knit below, and then this is the last one. See, not this one, but on the white one, 1 knit below, and then just purl the remaining. Okay, now we're going to do our, so on the edge, we do the same thing over and over. So it gives you this nice texture. Look at this. So you don't have to worry about making a border on when you're finishing your blanket. You just knit it while you're going. So I do have another tutorial that I'm planning to make using the same method, and stay tuned for that one as well. So I have always count 4, one more. I always count because sometimes it's more, you focus on something else and then you have more stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay. Yarn over. Then we just continue knitting. So I'm going to let you knit this for a couple of rows. Actually, it should be total of 11 rows, 11 ridges of this purl. And then what we do is, okay, everything's falling down. We start a new, because we're increasing, right? Then we will start a new brioche here. See? So continue knitting. And I will, just don't forget the edges. Don't forget your increases, your decreases. And then I will meet you here to start a new brioche. Again, you should have 11 stitches. So count, you should have total of 11 ridges. And then we start a new brioche. Okay, so I have been knitting and this is how it looks like. Oh my goodness. So again, I just love how it's turning out. The color of this yarn. You know, when you look at it, you love these colors, but when you knit it, it becomes more sophisticated. Okay, anyways, don't forget to do your decrease and your increase every 5 rows on the right side of the work, and don't forget your yarn over. So always continue. That's going to be the edge until you finish the blanket. Okay, for these edges. Okay, so I have knitted 11 rows, and then you should have total of 11 stitches right here counted. This is the wrong side of the work then when we start our new brioche stitch. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, included with the yarn over that we did. Okay, so now we're going to start making a brioche here and then doing purls on top of here, and then we continue knitting. So it's every 11 rows. It's every 11. You will count these 11. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, and then you start a new brioche. Okay? So that's very, very important. Okay, now I'm just going to continue knitting. I still have time because this isn't 5 rows yet. Don't forget, every 5 rows you do your decrease, and then you 3 stitches you do your decrease, and then you do your you bind off 3 stitches, and then you bind on 3 stitches. Don't forget, that's very important. Okay, so we just continue knitting just like this. So I count my stitches again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 right here. So this is where I'm going to put a marker. Just going to grab my marker. I should have grabbed the yellow one. Just going to put a marker so I will know that it's going to be starting a brioche stitch. Always count over and over. So I'm just going to continue knitting. 1 knit, 1 purl. This is all we do on the first row. 1 knit, 1 purl. Just like this. Okay, knit and again go back and count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Okay, we're done. Now on the brioche we're going to purl. That's all we're going to do, purl. I'm doing purl. You can knit 2 sides, and you know that you can get a purl stitch, right? You can do that way as well, but I like to purl this way. Okay, so I'm going to count again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Okay, now we're going to do 11 stitches, brioche. So knit 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we just do the one knit purl. That's all we do. Okay, so I'm just going to move this marker because I'm done with this one, and put it right here on this stitch. So when I come back, I know that I'm starting the brioche, and I just continue knitting. That's all I do. Nothing different. Knit purl, or like I said, you can do knit stitch 2 sides and then get the same effect. Okay, so I'm going to do my bind off 2, 4, because bind off 3 stitches. Okay, and then you will have 2, 4, 5. See the ridge? Okay, leave the 2 remaining, and this is the front, so I just knit the way that I see. Okay, here I start the brioche. Okay, again, this is a knit stitch. So I'm going to go, I'm not going to grab it from here. I'm going to go 1 below. This is how the easiest way to knit the brioche stitch. I do have tutorials on how to knit brioche on another way. So if you want to go and check it, you can do that. But this is the easiest way for you, so you won't get confused. Just like this. Okay, so we have done, and then we're just going to do purl on top of the brioche after 11 rows, and after 11 rows we start doing the brioche stitch on top of the purl stitch. So that's all we do, and then because of the yarn over, it increases, right? So I'm going to let you knit about 10 boxes like this, and I will show you. Let me just finish this row so you won't get confused, and then again go on the below, because it gives you the, see, if you do the knit 1 purl you won't have this effect, but when you do it this way it gives you the brioche. It's a totally different stitch, and it's so easy. See how easy it is? And look at it, it gives you that 3D look. Gives you that fluffy look. You can knit cardigans, sweaters, scarves with this brioche stitch, and it's so easy. It's just like 1 knit, and then you just go below to knit the stitch underneath, and that's all you do. I'm knitting the last stitch, and I just continue knitting. So this is the front of the blanket, 2, 4, 5, and I do yarn over, and I knit the remaining 3 stitches, but I'm going to bind off, and my yarn is stuck somewhere. Here we go. So I do my bind off, so don't forget, so 2, 4, and then you should have total of 5, like every 5 rows you do a bind off and a bind, you pick up stitches. So you get rid of the 3 stitches. I'm repeating myself over and over so you won't forget. And this is all you do. Let me show you one more time, the brioche. And I'm going to show you how to do the decrease. So don't grab this stitch, but go one below, right in the middle. And just grab it, and then you just knit it. It gives you that nice texture. And that's all you do. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside. Okay, so I have knit all the way to the half of the blanket, and then we count 1, 2, again, these are all 11 rows for 11 stitches to create the square. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's pretty long. Doesn't fit my 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I have knit, and I'm knitting on circular needles. I'm happy that I invested these years ago, a decade, and I went and bought 2 more knitter surprise, because I don't think there were any knitter surprise. I bought lots of Addie, because Addie was out there. Anyways, so what I did is 2, 4, 6. So 6 ridges I have knit. Okay. So now we're going to do our decrease. Decrease means this is going to be a square, so we're going to go this way, slant. It's like, it's the same way of doing a corner to corner. If you have knit dishcloth, it's the same method. So I'm going to grab my thingy here. Okay, so from here, we're going to do our decrease. Okay. And I'm just going to continue knitting as I normally knit. Let me just grab this. So again, I bought a total of 17 balls of this yarn, and I have used 7 total so far. So I still have enough to finish the blanket. So just buy, or if you have enough yarn in your stash, definitely knit it with the yarn that you have. Okay, so let me just move this aside. Wanted to show you. Okay, so we're going to do our decrease. So we just knit regularly. Don't forget the edges. Every 5 rows you do your bind off and your cast on. 5. So I just knit this. Okay. So what I do is I knit these 2 stitches together, just like this, and then I continue knitting. Just knit all the way to the end until we make our 2 more decrease. Okay, and then we just do our brio stitch as we regularly do. Nothing different at all. Sorry. Again, don't pick it up from here. Go it on the one below. I'm especially focusing on that, not from here, but on the below. And that's how you knit your brio stitch. Just like this. So I am going to meet you at the end to show you how to do the other decrease. Okay, so I have knit all the way to the end. This is time consuming, so I'm not going to show you because it's pretty long. I haven't measured it, but it is long. I think it's over 50 inches long, the middle of the blanket, when you measure it corner to corner. Okay, so if you use a thinner yarn, your blanket is going to be smaller. Okay, so I'm here. 2, 4, 5. This is the yarn over. These 2 stitches, I'm going to get rid of one. I'm going to knit the yarn over, and I just continue knitting the purls, the 5 stitches, the edge, and I turn my work. So on both sides we're going to be doing the decrease to make that corner look corner to corner. So 2, 3, 4, 5. But we continue making these yarn overs just to separate the edge from the blanket, like the border. And this gives you that nice sophisticated look. See? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a yarn over after 5 stitches. Always count. And then I'm going to purl these together, or knit, whichever how you knit, to create the purl look. So you get rid of 1 stitch. Okay, so we do get rid of 1 stitch on the wrong side, on both sides, the wrong side and the right side. And I just continue knitting my stitches that I'm working on. And don't forget, every 11 rows we change it. So I still have a couple of more rows to knit this. So I am going to sit down and knit this all the way to the end, and I will come back to show you how to do the decrease again. Okay, so I'm going to do my decrease right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then here are the 2 stitches that I need to get rid of 1. Okay, after that I do a yarn over, because this is the front, and I just knit the remaining 5. And I believe it's time to bind off. Let me just double check. Yeah, always 2, 4, 5. Yeah, 2. This is how I count the ridges: 2, 4, and then when I do the bind off, it creates a 5. So don't forget, every 5 rows you do your bind off, and then when you come back, you add stitches again, 3 more stitches. So we got rid of the 3. Okay, so here I always knit my yarn over. Don't do your decrease on the yarn over. So after the yarn over, but when we're coming, you just do it the way that I showed you. And then, so after, I'm going to get rid of another 1 more stitch, just like this. Knit 2 together, just like that. And I just continue knitting, nothing else. Okay, so you do this all the way, and then you will notice that it's going to be slanting towards automatically this way, even with the couple of rows. So I'm going to let you knit and start doing your decreases. And don't forget, every 11 rows, so 2, 4, 6, 7, and then 8, 9, 10, 11, and then you change. You automatically change to brioche and then knit stitches, purl stitches on top of here, and vice versa, and then you continue going like that. So I'm going to knit all the way. This is how you do your decrease. So let me just knit, and I will show you how it's, the more it's going to slant towards this, and that's all we do. So I'll be right back. I have knit a couple of rows and just wanted to show you. So don't forget, on every row back and forth we get rid of 1 stitch, but we still do the yarn over on the front. So, and this is how it looks like. It's slanting towards this. This is going to take me a couple of days to knit, so I will continue knitting, and then I will change the brioche to every other 11 rows, and then I will come back to show you how to do the, well, I don't have to come back, but I will come back. I will make another video, because it's going to take me a couple of days to knit, and I will come and show you how to do this part, and how to finish it up. So I hope you like this tutorial. I just tried to make it as easy and as simple as it can be, so you can understand how to knit this gorgeous brioche corner to corner blanket. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Share it with your family and friends. And if you don't subscribe, you will miss my one-of-a-kind tutorials, because I am coming up with another tutorial making the same edge with a different stitch this time in the middle, and I'm sure you're gonna love it, love it, love it, love it. Especially if you have lots of yarn in your stash, you're gonna love it, because the brioche uses up lots of yarn. And yeah, happy knitting, everybody. Stay home, stay safe, try to take care of yourself. With this virus, I don't know what's going to happen, because it's not going away. Yeah. Happy knitting. Yeah, this is the yarn. Just showing it over again. And it is called oatmeal. And the blue one was called waves. Hello, this is Frida. Welcome to my channel. I came back to show you how to finish this blanket. I have been knitting non-stop since I did the tutorial, so I am going to be finishing it, and I'm at the last. I finished the last row of the 11th row. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same. It's pretty heavy. It's about 50 inches wide and 50 inches long due to being a square. So I did 10 rows. You don't have to do 10 rows. Just to point that out, you can, not 10 rows, 10 boxes, squares like this. You can knit as many as you want and work with the wideness that you want to knit your blanket. I did 10. But on my next, the blue one that I started, I'm not going to do 10, because it's pretty, this is like it for an adult. It's like 50 inches. It's pretty wide and long. So I put it on my bed, and it covered my queen size bed. Okay, so now we're going to be doing, so we're right here. Think about it as this way. So we're right here, and we just continue knitting purls now. And then we continue making our edges. Just like this. So, and again, you knit 11 rows and then 11 stitches for each square to create this gorgeous blanket. And like I said, you don't need to knit, like I'm knitting purl, but you can knit the knit version. And I tried to show you how to do the simplest way, how to knit the brioche stitch. Okay, so let me just grab my, and I used up lots of yarn. I think I have 3 left, so I used up about 14 balls of the yarn that I've been knitting with. Sorry, I have 5 balls left, and I forgot to add the hat that I knitted with. So this is a gorgeous yarn. It's about 85 gram. I memorized it. I just say it. It's 100% cotton. It's a 4-weight. It's recommending you to use a 5mm knitting needle, which I'm using a 5. I can go down to 4.5 if I want to. Just use the comfortable knitting knitting needle if you can choose from. And I still can't find that 85 for some reason. Every time I look at here it is. It's in red actually. It's 3 ounces and 85 gram. So I use total of 13 balls of this. If you want to knit 10 10 squares, then you need 14. I think I said this at the beginning of this. No, I have 4 here. So you need, with the hat, if I include the hat, because I used up the entire ball, so 5, then I used up 12 balls of yarn. Okay. Okay, so I'm right here, and I did my increases and decreases here. As I said, in every row I did the decrease. Every row I did the decrease, and I did the yarn over on every other row, and I did my bind off and bind on, as I showed you on the number 1 tutorial. Again, this is a redo that I have done a tutorial a couple of years ago. So I try to show it as simple as I can. Okay, so I'm just gonna purl these stitches. I do it this way because when I do my purl this way, my loop twists, which I don't like. Okay, so, and I knit the yarn over, and then I do my decrease, just like this. And what we're going to do is we're just going to purl, nothing else. I'm just going to do my Turkish style because I feel more comfortable knitting over. I have the yarn tension over my neck. You can search it up. It's so easy. I would highly recommend you to learn it. This is all I do. This is all I do on my purl. This is all I do. Okay, like regularly, what we do is we do every 11 rows, we change from a brio stitch to the purl stitch, right? So I'm going to do the same, but this is going to be the last box, as you can see here. See? So I just continue knitting purl wise. If you're knitting a knit version, you can do that too. It's just that I like to feel more comfortable, and I knit it fast when I'm doing it this way. So this is how I knit. Just use my thumb. And yeah, I've been trying to finish this blanket because I need to start a new project. And okay, so I do my I knit this, and I knit these together like this, and I do a yarn over because we have to do a yarn over, and I knit the remaining. So this is all we do. We knit, knit, knit. Lots of purls, lots of knitting involved, and it's really fun. It's really, really fun. Okay, and then we knit these stitches again. 5 stitches, and the yarn over is just to separate. It's like a border showing up, and then I knit this one. I do not knit these two together because I need to create this yarn over, and then I do the 2 stitches together, and this is how it looks like. It gives you that nice lacy effect on the sorry, throat problem never goes away. I don't know, 2 months is too long for me. You can put ribbons on here. What I did on my first tutorial, you can go back and check it. I will put the link below. I did chains, and I went between these and then I made a flower. So just use your imagination and create however you like. You don't have to have this one. I'm going to leave it plain because it's pretty. And so I'm just going to be purling all the way. This is all I'm doing. Don't forget your decrease and your increase. I mean increase the yarn over, and your decrease is to get rid of the stitch. And then when we knit 4 ridges, we bind off, and then we knit, and when we come back, we bind on again the 3 stitches. We get rid of the 3 to give this nice look. Look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be knitting, and I will come back. Okay, so I don't have to knit 11 rows because we're done, right? So I just need to knit about 1, 2, me get it to focus. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I believe it's 7 because we need to do 2, 4, 5. 2, 4, 7. Yeah, 7, 8. We need to knit about 8 ridges. I will come back to show you because it's really hard, because I did knit about 5 here and then we started the blanket right at the beginning. So I need to make the same effect look when we're finishing it up. So I will knit about 7 ridges and I will figure if it's right. I will come back and show you. Okay, so I have knit about 8 rows, ridges, if you count them on the, I believe this is the wrong side of the work when you start doing the changing the stitches from brioche to purl stitch. So it's 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, right here. So I knit this, and I'm not going to be doing any more increases because we're trying to finish it up. And I noticed we need to bind off to give this. Let me find the edge. It's too big. The blanket turned out to be pretty big. Okay, right here. So we need to bind off, right, like this. And to do that, we need to have 5 stitches here. Okay. So to do that, so this is going to be the last edge that we're making. So what I'm going to do is, I knit too long, so I had to frog it. So I'm not going to do a yarn over, so I'm going to knit these two together just to get rid of the stitches, because we need 5 stitches in the middle, and then you can see there's a lot here, so we need to do some tricks. Okay, so right here I need to get rid of another stitch. Okay, I'm not going to do a yarn over, so I'm going to knit the 5 stitches, and then I am going to finish this up. So bind off the total 5, 6, I believe. Let me see. I have to go back and count. So there's 5 stitches here. Okay. And then remember, we were getting rid of the 1 stitch here. Okay, so this is how it will look like. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then when you look, there's 2, 4, 5, and then we get rid of the 1, 2, 4, 6. Okay, so we're okay, I guess. Like I said, I'm making this up as I go. I haven't, I had this in my mind, and I am showing you, and I am knitting with you together. Okay, so what I'm going to do is 2, 4, 5, and I'm going to get rid of 1 stitch here. So I'm not going to do a yarn over like I said. So I'm going to knit this all the way to the end. I'm trying to make it as easy as it can be so you won't have difficulties. And yeah, so 2, 4. So I'm going to bind off how many I binded off here. So we need to have total of 5 stitches to give that corner look on the blanket, the same effect. So we're trying to make this right here. Okay, and then we're going to bind off 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm counting 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. So what I'm going to do is 2, 4, 6, 8. So I'm going to knit that 8 stitches all the way to the end. Okay, turn my work. My goodness, it's so heavy. For these kind of projects, I just start a dishcloth, like, you know, just to show it. But I said to myself, let me make a baby blanket. And then here we go. So I got rid of 1 stitch, and then I'm going to knit all the way to the end. It's making that noise. Okay. So we have 6, 7. I'm going to get rid of another stitch. Then I'm going to knit. See how it looks? 2, 4, 6. So I need to get rid of another stitch to give this nice beginning. Okay. I recounted the ridges, so I have 7 here, and I have 7 here. Exactly. Because I'm pulling this, because it's heavy, it's getting longer than compared to the other one. But it's the same ridges. Okay, so I'm going to turn my work, and then I'm going to get rid of another stitch. And then I'm going to knit back and forth until I have a total of 5 ridges, just like this. Just like this, 2, 4, 5. Well, with the binding off, you should have 5. So 5 rows, I believe. Oh, no, don't knit together. What am I doing? Okay. Can't I pull this too long? It's being heavy. It's pulling. Okay, I'm just going to hold it on my knee and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have knit just like this. 2, 4. So I'm going to bind off. And I am finished. Yes, I am. Oh my goodness, it feels like this took forever. Okay, so I'm going to cut this, weave it, and I'll be right back to show you. Ta-da! It's finished. Yeah, so I weaved it. Tried to hide it here. Can't even find it where I hid it. Well, here it is. So I moved it here. I went over, and this is how it looks like. And I'm going to show you how I started. The beginning. Okay, and here is the beginning, how I started. See? Just to show you. See? It's same. Identical. And it's super easy, like I showed you. You just decrease until you don't have enough stitches. Well, I knitted 7 ridges. When you count them, 7. And then you notice, and again, I had, how many stitches did I have? 8. So I kept on decreasing. And, well, the thing is, we didn't have exactly 5 in the middle, just to point that out. But there's tricks how to get rid of those. And, yeah. So this is how you knit this gorgeous, gorgeous corner to corner brioche stitch. And I tried to figure how to make it easier for you guys to knit, because I still get questions every day but that other old tutorial that I did a couple of years ago. Okay, so here is the brioche stitch corner to corner blanket. Look at it, it's so squishy. I just love it. So I hope you like my tutorial. Here are the corners. Yeah. I hope you like this tutorial. Again, it's a redo tutorial that I have done a couple of years ago. And just wanted to share knitting a new version on how to knit this corner to corner brioche blanket. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, share it with your family and friends, and happy knitting!